Oh, hey everybody. So I just came out and sat down and I, I had the intention of making a video about seeing certain symbols and animals and signs, and how everybody has their own, I guess, well, first off, let's see if I can find this thing. It's this little spider, or well, there it is. It's a little spider carcass. Poor guy, lost all his legs and everything. But when I came out here, I sat in the chair and I looked down, and there was one of those ants, one of the flying ants, and it was scuttling across the ground with something. It was like, flapping along and trying to get moving. It was about the same size as the spider, and then my cat walked by it, and the fly took off. And it must have been one of those big flying ants, because it looked like it. But I thought, it's the macro world, or the micro world, going on right in front of us. This guy's taking this meal home, and he gets interrupted by a cat. He kind of flew around a few times, and then he took off. And I think, it's just like a bird losing his fish. But I guess that only ties in a little bit to my subject here. But when I see numbers, and like, let's say triple digits, it's 444, and then I look again and it's 555, and these come in cycles and waves. And when I talk about that, people always have different interpretations of what they mean. And for example, when I see certain animals, some people, like if I made a video, I've made videos about like a bird or a cat or a certain animal I saw, and I'll film it, and somebody will say that when you see that, it means a certain thing. And I started piecing all these things together, all these animal symbols, number symbols, and symbols themselves, such as seeing seeing triangles or stars or whatever you want to give it. Anyway, it's the same. It's kind of like astrology. The different perceptions on what it means and what astrology actually is. And people read horoscopes and they'll say, well, this is what this means and this is what this means. So what I'm getting at here is that I think that in order for a person to really have an understanding of what the universe is trying to tell us, we have to set forth a framework for that information to come in. So some people choose a religion, and then when they have a certain feeling, that's the universe talking to them through their religion. People who are, let's say, very spiritual in the sense of being really into meditation, let's say, or something, and they take signs, things that they see in their meditations as guiding principles to their life. But if you don't have any structure whatsoever, it's hard to know what the universe is trying to say. So I've thought of maybe setting forth a structure for myself, not asking the universe, what do you mean by these things, but telling myself what certain things will mean to me. Rather than seeing a symbol and looking it up, let's say, taking a symbol that you tend to see a lot and saying, okay, when I see this, this is what this is going to mean to me. Basically asking the universe, could you please speak to me through these particular symbols or these particular animals? And I'm going to start out with a small grouping of things that I tend to see a lot. And I'm going to give them attributes and see if, I guess it's creating my own framework for understanding the universe, and it's not creating my own religion, it's not creating my own belief system, it's finding a way to translate that information that's being fed. How can I put it? It's a very difficult subject to tackle in word. Let's see if I could put this a better way. Creating a structure of reality, I guess. a framework. So, let's say take 444 for example. That's a number I see a lot. And some people will say the angels are talking to you, or some people say that means your guardian angel's watching over you. I've heard a lot of different things. But rather than just wonder every time I see it if that's true, I'm going to give it a number and give it a purpose, and give a purpose to the things that I see regularly, and say, ask the universe, will you speak through these symbols to me, but in a way that I can understand them coherently. And I think that that's a major component, is us learning to ask the universe for what we want. I remember watching that show, what was it, The Secret, that came out years ago. And there was always something lacking in that movie, because it would say, oh, you can get whatever you want through intention. All you have to do is intend. And they gave all these examples of houses and money and cars, and seemed to miss the point that you don't just intend for things you want, you intend for things you need. And through that intention, what they said is that, so many people don't even know what they want, I guess is what I'm saying. That people don't even know what they want to ask. Some people know for sure what they want, and they know exactly what they want, but a lot of people don't know really what they want to intend for. In other words, we don't put the time into it. How many people who meditate or know they should meditate or know that it helps them actually, like myself, don't do it often enough? I hardly ever meditate. I really should do it more often. But then, the whole Zen philosophy says that if you think you should do it, you're already attached to it, and there's no point in doing it. See, that's the thing. Things have to come naturally. We can't force them. And we have to let life play out on its own terms. But during that ride, we can reach out and grab, these particular events that happen to us and give them meaning. And rather than give them a meaning based on what we want them to be or what other people tell us they mean, we're creating our own and saying, okay, so when I see 444, that means I'm on the right path, right? Or when I see the number 11, that means that there's something I should be paying attention to. When I see, I don't, you get the point, the gist of it. So I could go on forever, but I'll probably never be able to, get my point across any better than I already have. So I'm going to start assigning numbers to numbers, something like that. I don't know. Oh, the spider and the fly. What? Wait a minute. Oh, I thought he was gone. I thought he came and took it while I was making the movie. All right, later, everybody.